how to paint a background in watercolor. My name is Michelle Manriquez, and my channel is Drop That Brush. I want to help people who are non-artists become artists. Like, subscribe, and ring that bell. Here's the question that I'm going to attempt to answer, okay? I'm having a hard time getting a background and applying them. You know what? It's everybody's problem. You aren't the first person. This is something that is difficult, period. Unless you're really a professional artist and amazing. But you know, most of us struggle. I'm gonna walk you through my ideas and then I'll show you at the end how, if you have no idea, you're totally lost, but you don't want to destroy it, I'll show you how to do it. So it won't hurt your painting. Backgrounds can be busy, colorful, sedate, quiet, white. There is all kinds of backgrounds. Some of them much more imaginative. There are so many options. Like you have your picture, right? It's one flower. How do you choose? There's so many options. It's kind of scary. At least it was for me when I first started. I'm in class and people will say to me, well, do the background first, last, in the middle? And I'm like, yes, all of those. I don't have a set way of handling it. It depends upon what my goal is. If I know a very specific background, then it doesn't matter when I do it front, beginning. When I have no idea, I use it in the middle. I start kind of just fleshing out a little bit of color so I don't feel like I have this gorgeous painting and white everywhere. I don't like that. It makes me scared. So I don't like that. So I always, if I have no idea what I'm doing, I start putting, I don't care if I'm just splashing. It could be something simple. So the most important thing about the background is, what are you trying to say? Art is a communication between you and the person looking at the picture. What are you trying to say? Are you saying the beautiful light coming down through the forest? So you have lights and darks. Is you want to enhance the focus part of the painting. First thing is, what drew you to the painting? What will be your focus object? Is it water being white with dark trees around it or dark rocks around it? Is it a beautiful flower? But what's the part that you like the best? That best petal. Maybe the one with the shadows come through, that you can see the shadows on the petal. I love that. What do you want to say to your viewer? Is it something emotional? Does it want to say summertime, children? You know, what are you trying to say? That depends upon what you do in the background. Sometimes I know. The minute I see it, I know exactly what my background is. So it doesn't really matter if I do it beginning or last. Doesn't matter because I know what's going to do. Sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh. Particularly simple things. Sometimes it's hard to determine what you're going to do. But your goal is to make the focus subject to be your main piece. You don't want to be so busy that you start at the background, not on the focus area. Now, sometimes your background can guide you. You can use clouds to guide you to the focus area. You can use paths that guide you to your focus area. So, you know, all that works in the background, and you would need to think about that too. Best important thing I can give you is, do not overdo the background to the point that you don't know what's the focus. So that was point number one. Okay, this particular painting, Oreo, I knew exactly. It was the most amazing picture. Dark, light between the back of the wall and it was like just, you knew you were going to do the darkest dark with the lightest light and make it, fun. So for that one, dark and light was my focus. I wanted you to see the vibrant of the cat with the shadow in the wall. I'm looking at a feeling. This little girl, she's called Two Cupcakes. Really cute little girl, but how do I say what I want to say? So in my head, I'm thinking, I wanted you to feel the summer, the fun of summer. And so that was why I used that background. And so I was trying to tie that feeling. All right, I have this picture up here. It's called Faster Daddy. It was my neighbor. And he was running back and forth the street and he's holding on his daughter and I had to show movement. So I'm thinking, I actually got online and looked at how other people made things make it move. And so this is my approach. I'm not sure it's that great, but I tried. Did enhance the subject. That's something you always have to remember, is it make your subject more exciting. What's the subject? Animal, flowers, person, landscape. Sometimes there are just obvious reasons you can use that particular background. Let me give you some examples. One thing to do which is helpful with flowers and landscapes, using negative space. And this is an example of negative space, tulips, but this is another one with negative space. I can't remember the name of it. Hollyhocks. Okay, how about this one? Where you have an animal. It's kind of obvious, sky, grass. It doesn't have to be, you want the animal to be the focus. Sky, grass kind of goes with the theme. Another thing to look for is, like for animals, it could be lights and darks, like Oreos. Missing You, another vinaigrette style. A vinaigrette is where you have your focus area, then each edge can be from 2 edges or 4 edges that go to the end, and then the rest is left, blank or splattered, but it's mainly your focus area. Here in Nap Time, I was immediately, just the picture, it just went across with vinaigrette, because I didn't want to paint. I had the choices. I could have put this big jungle. Would that make the focus the cat? And so, because I wanted the cat to be my focus, I felt a very simple background. So I was trying to keep that feeling of nap time. And I actually think about this, right? I'll even say to myself, how do I feel? I want to make it feel like that. Another option could be warm and cool. Do you want your pictures to be mainly warm? Or this picture where it's mainly cool. So you're looking at people. It depends upon if you are a close-up portrait, further away, or really further away. All that determines what you're going to put, because if they're like a secondary subject, but people happen to be in it, but you're focused, you want to focus the people to the area that you're wanting them to look at, whatever that is. What if what you want to do is have a cityscape? If you do the people very detailed, then, to me, you would probably use the buildings very not detailed. Or the opposite, if it's solely about the cityscape, there'll be more information in the buildings, much, much less in the people. And I see some people where they do both, kind of everything's subtle, and then that's a more calming feeling. It depends on what you want, how people are going to look at this. Think about what is it makes you drew into the picture. Sometimes people say to me, well, it's just pretty. Well, sometimes that is not always a good picture to paint then. You want to find you like something. Find something about the picture that you want the focus. This picture is Forever Young, and I have no idea what to do but something very simple. Sometimes you just have an idea. It doesn't need to be too difficult. I can do something simple. They are so bold and vibrant. I just mixed those colors up and made them gray. I almost never do gray, but there is no way I could have done anything else. Something else you need to think about. What are the values in this? The actual picture is mainly a medium value, whether it's flowers or whatever. Around it, you have two options basically. Something dark in a medium value, so that will pop the picture out, or something soft and lighter values, and maybe a little dark someplace in between to guide you through what you want to look at. Values and edges. Big deal. This is one thing that to me really takes the level up. I shouldn't say that. There's always people who does this. That's their style. I'm not saying. But I think it's important that we allow unity in a painting. We're into unity by incorporating the background to the focal area somewhere. I'm not saying the whole thing has to be just soft, but there should be some areas that kind of guide you through. Like this little girl. I just got the hair and shoved it out to the background. Sometimes it would be like legs. Those are good places you can soften an edge. The edges of the picture. If you want to focus on this spot, you don't want the focus to have lots of hard edges on the edges of the picture. Allow the softness of the edge to show you here. Look here at this spot. And so I do a lot of soft edges in my backgrounds. A very, very light value like this one. This little girl, Dreamer, gorgeous. She was soft, gentle. And so when I did her, it was mainly a medium value throughout. So I did a very light. Now, if I want to pop her to make her I would then have done with a dark value. So it makes a difference what you're going to use. Fast Daddy, I actually really included the background to his shirt. I call him Really? You can see here, and I circled it. So we're actually pulled the background into his shirt. Again, it wasn't really obvious. Or little girl, I want it to be like a summertime breeze, and I literally allowed her dress just to go in the background, so the feeling would be like, summertime breeze. I have thoughts, I have ideas. It doesn't always work, but that's okay. My first thing to say to you is, do not do this perfect picture and everything's white. I've done it. It just stresses you out. You're like, oh my God, it really came out. Now what do I do? Make your life easy. Put a little splatter on the back. Soften an edge just into it. Even just a little. I don't care if you're doing yellow splatter, which won't even show. It just makes you feel like it's not all white. I think white paper can be really stressful if you don't know what you're doing. You did your painting and you're just going, still don't know what I want to do. So here's my best steps. Use the same colors that you used in the painting for the background. You could mix it to get a calm color. Here's one with really, and you can see the colors in his face are the same colors that are in the background. And there's unity in that. Unity with the cupcakes. I like the feeling of it, but I feel that the blue was not as unified. I mean, there is some of that blue there, but it's so subtle. I felt that if it was really soft, not too hard, it can get by with it. But I was going for the feeling. So it depends on what you're looking for that background. I start with wet and wet abstract colors. So I've got those colors. I just do wet and wet. I throw it on because I got it wet. It was light. It allows me to put some pieces hard, some areas, particularly the edges of the paper, to be soft. Have some soft edges that go into the painting. You don't, people used to say to me, you cut it out. I don't understand. And I really didn't understand. But what it means is this is cut out as if somebody had drawn scissors and cut it. There isn't a piece together. There's no unity between the background to the subject. You've made this the right colors, a little unified whole where some of it's soft, some of it's not. Then look at the whole picture. Don't get excited. Say, does that say the story that I want you to say or not? Then, my final thing is, all right, where is your focus? Wherever that happens to be, do and put a little darker if you want to. Maybe sometimes that's enough. But say you figure that you're not popping out that focus area enough, then I will put a little darker line going through that background. And it could be very simple. Again, doing wet and wet, not important, just a little darker so that it really shows off wherever that white is. 4 steps to solving a background problems when you have no idea what else to do. Let me know what you think of this video. If you want to, sign up for my Facebook page, Drop That Brush, and I would love to look at what you're doing and help you. I'll give you tips, ideas. You know, we're in this art life together. And there's beginners, there's middles, that's me, and then we have experts. But you know what? Sometimes other people come up with great ideas. So, you know, feel free to show me what you're working on and we'll talk about the background or anything else you want to talk about when you not know what you're doing. And drop that brush. Like, subscribe, and ring that bell. You have a wonderful week. Take care. Bye.